So, Obi, Scott, I mean, I'm very pleased to have you here in our ENOVIA NEPSI's user conference in Netherlands. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, what you are doing, and what is your passion, and what is animating you on a daily basis?
Sure. Well, we are Otto Aviation, and we are trying to reduce the energy required for flight using laminar flow technology. My name's Scott DRENNAN. I'm the president and COO, and I've been in A&D for about 32 years. I've been fascinated all my career in trying to make engineering marvels out of the combination of technological progress and human teaming. So for me, it's about the technology and the people coming together to create those marvels. I hope too that they can have a great effect on society, like our project now, because it's very sustainable. We're creating an aircraft with less drag, which requires less fuel, less materials, and less money, so people can afford to use sustainable aviation fuel on it as well.
Impressive.
Yeah, my name is Obi NDU. My role is as the Chief Information and Digital Officer. I think my passion really has been to find the intersection of the engineering, the analytics, and just the information technology. And thinking back now, it's 24 years in aerospace and defense. My position and my role at Otto really brings those three things to bear. Every day I get to work with some of the smartest engineers, in our industry, to bring to life this new vision for aviation, leveraging technological tools that in my space in information and digital transformation can really help us get there. That's really my passion, is bringing those three things together.
You mentioned the importance, both of you, of connecting the vision. So we need to have a dream, of course. Otherwise, it would be boring, just work, But we need to have a dream. You need to have people. And then you need to have the best technology to support people to achieve their dream. So how do you get to choose, actually, through the experience and part of it, ENOVIA, to support this new venture?
That's a fantastic question. I think, to Scott's passion, right, of technological advancements and really the human capital, the human element. I think for us, making a decision to partner with 3D Experience and ENOVIA and Dassault Systems was really the support that we saw that we could get from the people within ENOVIA. The stories that we heard from your user community, we did quite a bit of research. When you do the apples to apples comparison across products and solutions, but the big differentiator for us was the quality of the people, the commitment to our use cases, and also to other use cases that we're able to explore from some of your other companies that you're working with. So that for us was one of the higher ranking factors in our assessment, was just the nature of the collaboration that we could get and the community, the ability to work with your company and the people that represent it.
And the choice was a mix of IT, technology, and business, I assume?
Sure. Yeah, we have to. Our biggest challenge all the time, being on the technical side, is how do you connect your decisions to the business? Obi and I were speaking about that today as you all were presenting how those tie together. Today there was a conversation about sales tied to engineering, supply chain tied to engineering, and those are really important, and they're often things that people don't consider together. Obi came up with this wonderful presentation title for us, From Silos to Synergy, and that's enabled through your tools. I've worked with Dassault for many years. The other thing that I really like about it,
because
a lot of through the aerospace and Bell days, and you're never short on vision as well. And I've always appreciated that. Year to year, if you go to your conferences, there's always some new challenge that you're taking on, maybe even new industries. I know recently you've been into the biomed side of things, And it's great to see that, because as you look for new tools in those new areas, they can benefit some of the more traditional businesses like us in aerospace and defense.
Yeah, and Scott, to that point, I think you used this word in your just your last few comments here, innovation, right? We picked up on just how innovative this platform is and the people behind it, and that comes across in all interactions. One of our core principles is being innovative, right? Being on the leading edge of technology and ideas, and it's something that we could sense and we could see. I mean, innovation also needs inspiration. This user conference is not short of inspirational content and context. So I don't want to say the big I innovation, the small I innovation is infused across the board when you engage with the platform and the people that drive the platform, something that we find very, very aligned with our overarching vision. I do want to say something about, again, I talked about the human element in our decision making to go with your system, but there's also, our Otto Aviation mission and vision and our goals to really harness the element, the synergistic, promise of having an end-to-end system that ties engineering to manufacturing to service life and customer support. And we believe that, having this complete digital platform that is driven by highly innovative people just makes us, absolutely in stride to achieve our goals.
So you are starting this new business, so you have compared to other people, some that you are competing against, you have the luxury to start from a blank sheet of paper. At the same time, you are bringing some very experience, and I guess you are not the only one which are coming in your company with a deep aerospace background. You were a Dassault Systèmes customer before, but maybe not all of the people who are joining the company. So my question is, you start fresh, you can do it different,
however you want.
as good as possible first time. So how do you move? Because all those people have their experience and they have been working other ways before.
Right.
So how do you manage this transition between avoiding people just to repeat what they were used to do before?
Yeah,
that's a great question. It is an existential element. It is something that we deal with on a daily basis. But again, we first recognize that we are in a clean slate environment. You first have to recognize that at that point.
It's strengths.
Exactly. You accept it, you recognize it, and recognize the advantage that it represents, right? And once you realize that you are in a clean sheet environment in terms of your technology stack, right, and your infrastructure, it is liberating, right? So it frees your mind. I didn't say too much about other passions. I'm a bit of an artist and a creator myself, and some of my kids tend to take after some of that. And when I see them work a piece of canvas, I end up saying, free your wrist. Don't be stiff with your brush strokes. Free your wrist, free your hand, free your mind. So accepting that you are dealing with a clean slate and that mistakes are part of the process, it enables you to explore the possibilities. So we went in with really changing from thinking, we're in the world of digital transformation. It's not transformation for us. It is from the get-go. So it's digital first. But that comes with challenges, right? We are not just building a company and building a product with folks that have never done this before, otherwise we'd be in trouble, right? We have deeply experienced engineers, and with that experience comes experience with other platforms, other things, other tools. So we approach this in multiple ways. I think during our talk the other day, I mentioned how we look for opportunities, right? We look for what I termed low-hanging fruit, opportunities to demonstrate the value of this new solution. We also put the burden of proof as well on them to say, you tell me why the old way of doing it or the prior tool that you had experience with is better than this that has the promise of synergy.
Yeah.
So it's we work with them to deliver value, on an immediate basis on the tool. They get more comfortable with it. But at the same time, if they really want to deviate, well, let's have a conversation about it while keeping in mind the synergistic goal that we're trying to achieve. So it's a little back and forth.
So it's a continuous.
It's a continuous.
process.
It is. It's not mandated, but at the same time, if it has to be mandated, but we work with them. It is the human element. Again, it is the people, right? So we really try to. It's a mindset shift that we try to impart on our folks and keep them centered on the company mission and vision to harness synergy, but also they're humans. Give them some benefit, show them the benefit on almost a day-to-day basis as well, and they will evolve and grow with you on that journey.
I often talk about innovation and creativity as a moment of permission. You have to actually give your teams permission to innovate and be creative. Legacy companies often don't do that. They say, you have a baseline story that you have to improve on, but don't deviate from the baseline story. When we say you have a clean slate, both on the product side, which is the things that I do, and the process side that Obi does, that's actually a signal that we're giving you permission to innovate and create. And when you do that with engineers, technical folks, business folks, you find out that they're all capable of doing it. Most of the time they're held back by not having that permission. So our philosophy goes back to that cause as well as the result that comes for the mind.
And in the way of working, the past experience, there are always the two facets. There is the tools, the CAD system, what I'm using to do requirements. So there is the tools. Yeah. And then there is a collaboration on how people are working together, which, again, in many companies is done outside of the system, whatever it is, mails or other WhatsApp or whatever system. So how do you see that, on how do you also, what is your view of connecting collaboration together with the tools that people are using?
That's another, again, it is, we talked about building a culture, right, which is more of a collective mindset, right, and then there's the individual thinking at the individual level. But collaboration is practicing, your culture and your individual thinking together in such a way that they complement each other. That's a very abstract set of points that I just made. But specifically in the 3DX environment, the context of 3DX, we encourage, in fact, over 80% of our employees actively work within the platform. That is a consequence of where we are in our process, in our development life cycle. We're doing a lot of engineering work, which requires a lot of interchange of ideas and information back and forth. So a majority of our folks are always working in 3DX. Well, how do they communicate across the platform? We have, collaboration tools that they leverage. Things like tracking issues, reporting issues, requesting support with a particular license or trigram, all those things, recognizing that we do have a number of people that have come from with experiences in different platforms, those low-hanging fruit interactions that need to happen, we essentially leverage the opportunity in 3DX to get our people more skilled on 3DX. Right? If you have to put an issue management and issue tracker and issue request or support request within 3DX for 3DX, you're exercising that. So it builds, it's giving our folks the sets and reps. So that's what we're doing. We start by saying all things product development, we manage it within the platform. Requesting support, requesting additional licenses, tracking an issue, managing little project elements and project requirements. We want to do it within the platform. And as more folks come on board, we see our adoption continuing to grow because they get opportunity with the little things. It gets easier with the bigger things.
Yeah. Yeah, we often use, people don't realize that even outside of the defined collaborative environment that you've created specifically, there's tools that we use that create collaboration. So we have a weekly fly-through, for example, and we bring up the model and we fly through it. We make section cuts and we look at interferences. Well, if the tool wasn't fast enough or the graphics weren't good enough or the ease of movement through the system wasn't simple enough, then all that collaboration would break down. So you saw that in our video today, people leaning over each other's shoulders, looking at CATIA, looking at 3DS, and that in and of itself is collaboration. That's not a particular tool set meant for that, but it creates it in our group. It creates the culture that Obi was talking about.
In this conference, we spoke about this next generation of things, leveraging multiple elements. Of course, there is this leveraging all the IP, the patrimony, the data in a large sense that people are creating using the solutions. And to elevate this with new technology, generative experiences. Of course, AI is part of this journey, but more than that is to imagine the new type of experience you can bring, you can build, connecting the virtual world and the real world. I mean, what kind of thinking does it bring to your mind, or how do you see this in the context of what you are doing?
Scott referenced the title of our talk, right? From silos to synergy. So silos could be referring to a host of different things, whether it's siloed information, individuals operating in silos, right? Tools that are disaggregated, right? Those generally could be representative of what we're thinking of as silos. So we want to move from whether it's individuals, tools, data silos to an entire synergistic environment. And that's where we saw a lot of opportunity in 3DX and ENOVIA and all the other brands. Our next goal really is, well, then how do you go from whether it's individual silos, we already talked about collaboration, right? So the collaboration element starts to break down the silos and build a community of users. What about applications and solutions and apps and roles and trigrams? If not used right, even though the system is designed for those things to work together, right? If not used right, you might still have silos within it. But with collaboration and having already been in the same environment and the same ecosystem, those applications are hooked together. So that's already breaking down those silos. But finally, there's the silos of data, right? We can't help still but have some data that reside outside, but we have a lot of design, manufacturing, process, documentation data that are within our ecosystem. Now, what we want to do is take advantage of the fact that they're already tied together on the back end, right? But now bubble up the interaction and the connective tissue of the data elements into a single unified end-to-end platform that allows us to analyze, visualize, and report out on that data. And contextualize that data. So to borrow from Bernard, taking knowledge to know-how, right? We want to be able to get to that, project/program intelligence. And I think that's where the opportunity presents itself in net vibes for us, right? So we're exploring that option. We're looking at really getting to that next step of tying all our potentially siloed data, even though technically they're connected on the back end, using net vibes, but it's all within 3DX. So we're one step ahead, right? Because everything's already in the ecosystem, but now let's really pull through, the connections and show that data and move to know-how.
Yeah, I think my experience is similar in a little bit different words. For years, we've had the as-designed virtual twin, right? We've been using a model, a 3D model for many, many years, but the thing that excites me the most is now we can do as built, as tested, as operated, as maintained. And then when you put that string together and think about the end point coming back around to inform you on your next design, that really excites me. So I don't have to stop at one program. I can do the next program based on that knowledge.
You are going to go through multiple tests with these new airplanes.
Yep,
So I
absolutely.
think that thing about the process of getting the right feedback from those tests back to the engineers, back end, or front end, whatever you call it, to be able to to take that into account and to see that in the context of what they are doing.
Yes.
I think can be certainly a
Absolutely.
fantastic opportunity. So again, you are in a fast development phase, and so you are scaling the system.
Yes.
You actually is also one of the value, I think, of what we can bring to you. What are the immediate, or what are the next steps for you in your the development of this ecosystem?
No, I love it. That's a great question, because we sometimes as leaders in the organization, we think organizationally, strategically, where we're headed, and we have to remember and consciously and intentionally sometimes bring our heads down, right, and work and see what's next at a more tactical level, right, so that we're ensuring it's connected back to the big vision for the company. So to that point, very, very relevant question. We have some very specific immediate projects that we need to execute on. So we are completely aligned with, our program management office is under Scott's organization. We're completely aligned with our integrated master schedule. So that also provides a roadmap to, it works hand in hand with our digital strategy and our digital enterprise strategy. So our master schedule determines really well what is the next application that we need to onboard, right? So it's not just we're looking at solutions where there's a little bit of an issue or we bring a new solution. It is guided by our integrated master schedule. So we have our manufacturing execution system, Prezo, which we're getting ready to stand up because we're about to get into our manufacturing phase once we freeze design. A lot of design work going on now, so we're working with our engineering teams. We're designing engineering review and release processes, change control processes, while also gearing up for our MES implementation, our supplier collaboration. We're about to sign a lot of partnership agreements and really finalize those partnerships. So we need to create the environment to be able to share information, collaborate, to use that word again, with our partners. So those are some immediate tactical things that we need to do, not to mention, building this end-to-end data platform, because now we have even more players that are at risk of being siloed, right? Right. So we need to bring this data platform. So we're busy. As you can see, there are quite a few things that my organization is gearing up to support his on, but that's kind of where we are headed. Some very specific targeted POCs we need to execute while bringing in our data platform on top of all of it.
Scott, Obi, thank you very much for your, first, to have taken the flight.
Our pleasure.
Still an old generation plane. Before the next generation plane. The flight to Netherlands. I think that your testimony was valuable for many people here. I'm happy that you could also learn things. And
yes.
you're going to take things back with
Yes.
you in your
That's
luggage.
the best part, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's been so helpful.
And I'm really looking forward to support your great venture. I think it's really a venture,
Yes, it
human
is.
venture.
Yes. Yes.
And so looking forward to seeing you again
Great.
soon.
With pleasure.
With pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
great.
Thank you, Scott.